What's poppin', everybody? This is Cerebral4, and today I have a very different unboxing video than usual. It's not going to be Pokemon, it's not going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any other trading card game. I have the Bloodstained Ritual of the Night exclusive backer, signed collector's box here, and we finally got it. I was a backer for this game. I'm going to assume you know what Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is. It was a major Kickstarter game for spiritual successor to Castlevania, Bloodstained. And this is some of the more high-end backer stuff you could pay for, back for. And we finally got it. It's actually not everything. They still owe us a poster, but I'm going to get into that later. But I know this is unrelated to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, but this was just too good not to make a video about. I really want to savor this moment, show you guys all of the stuff. And we're going to talk about it. Talk about the Kickstarter game and my whole experience later on, but show you guys a little bit of the box. It's really high quality. At least they weren't messing around when they said they wanted to be high quality. As you guys can see, collector's box. You got this sort of art. What's it called? The stained glass art. There's Jeeble over here, and then on the back you got the sort of a flower like alchemy symbol. There's the other guy, the samurai dude. Man, I can't believe I forgot his name now, but yeah. And we're gonna go through it. I'm gonna open it up. Along with this, you get the soundtrack, original soundtrack, and the slipcases inside. They actually gave me two of these for some reason. I don't get it. But we're gonna go through it, open it up, and see what's up. Okay, so first of all, the soundtrack. This stuff is big, so it's kind of difficult to record in this position, but it's all I can do. Let's open you up, and you get the slipcase and the soundtrack. Get the fuck out, come on. Right, so this is the backer slipcase. To be honest, I have no idea what's the use for something like this. Maybe you put stuff in. You can tear it from this angle. I'm not going to do that. And as you guys can see, there's the signature here. I'm actually not quite sure who signed it. Oh, this is a Iga signature. And the soundtrack here, it's got to be Michiru Yamane. So that's pretty awesome. Got the signatures of both of these amazing people, Castlevania contributors. And that's it. I'm not sure, to be honest. There's supposed to be like two backer cases, the $60 one and $100 one, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's just I've misinterpreted wrong. But this is the artwork. This is the slipcase. And then the soundtrack, there's nothing in here. It's just paper. So maybe the CD is inside the box. Nevertheless, got the signature here. You got all of the tracks right here, and that's it. It's just paper. To be honest, the soundtrack, even though it was good, I don't think it's on the level. It was on the level of Symphony of the Night, and maybe some other ones like Portrait of Ruin, Order of Ecclesia. It did have a lot of very good tracks, though. Anyways, so that's the slipcase, and now for the big boy, collector's box. Let's open your ass up. There it is, Bloodstained again with these gold letters inside of the box here. I'm not gonna lie, they definitely weren't kidding when they said they wanted to make it high quality stuff. And inside this quality box, there's another thing. This is the, well, I don't know what I should call it. I guess another box, another case. As you guys can see, this is Gremory, I believe, the villain, one of the villains, Bloodstained. And over here, there should be some other stuff. And you know what? Before I get to this box, let's check out the other things here. This is the, okay. Now this is some quality shit here. So this Ayami Kojima cover artwork by Ayami Kojima, another legend, and fan gamer 505 Games. There's this beautiful artwork. Yeah, she's the best. Like, nobody can top her. I wish she was responsible for all the artwork in the game too, but amazing. You guys can see how amazing this looks. This is Ayami Kojima 100% artwork. You can't go wrong with this. Like, you know when you see it, it's her. Fantastic, brilliant artist. I hope I'm giving you guys a good view. But yes, totally worth it. And let's take some of the shit out. I believe this should be the soundtrack. Okay, so there's the soundtrack. It's actually sealed. I wonder if I should just open it up. I think I'm going to keep it like this for now. Should I? No, you know what? Let's just open it for you guys. Okay, so got rid of the shrink wrap off screen, and this is the soundtrack. Nice. There's the disc here. I guess it's one. Oh no, wait. Disc 1, disc 2 it says. So over here we got disc 1, 2, and a strategy booklet as well. Okay. I think this is the stuff they gave to us as PDFs as well. Like, you could download from the Fangamer page. But yeah, this would normally be like the manual, but wow, very nice. There's some good artwork here. The concept artwork for the characters. You got Miriam, Dominique, their age. There's Johannes, Jibo Zangetsu, that's what the dude was called, Alfred. And story, I guess you could check all this shit out. And I think the rest should just be gameplay stuff. There's the secret dude. Well, not exactly secret, but... Okay, good stuff, good stuff. G. And what else do I have in here? This has got to be like the regular poster or something. My God, this is fly. This is fly as fuck. Okay, there's no way in hell I can show it properly to you guys, but this is the okay, let's do some amateur stuff. Like a little mini poster for Ayami Kojima's artwork. Bloody beautiful. Like, I need to find space so I can hang this in my room, because I have other of her work over there on the walls. But this is absolutely beautiful. Cannot go wrong with this shit. So let's fold you up again. And the last thing, or two last things, you got this holder or whatever. And this is minted items, alchemist treasure rewards. I don't know what's in here. Oh, okay, some of the lesser stuff, like you got the little pins here, got this little knife thing. What the hell? I don't know what this is. It's like a tattoo. Oh, it contains one tattoo. Yeah, I'm never gonna do this. And okay, so this is what we got in here. Shit. And then I believe all that is left. Well, I have more stuff. Got the art book. The art hardcover. More quality shit here. So let's open you as well. Ugh. So this is the hardcover art book of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I'm not going to go through the whole thing and show you guys everything. This stuff was meant to be exclusive, but I guess show you a little bit. So, got the introduction page. I like the fact that their paper is this kind of glossy material as opposed to regular paper. Very good. So some of the images. There's the artwork from Mana. This artwork was actually bloody beautiful as well. It kind of comes close to Ayami Kojima's art. Very, very nice. And there's some artwork here. This stuff is done by Natsume, the guy that did most of the artwork from what they were called. Good stuff, good stuff. Inti creates, that's right. Okay, so this is the art book as well. Let's open up a random page. Okay, and at the end, what do we get? Okay, some of the, I guess, customizable art options in the game, maybe. Right. So this is the art book as well. So now the last thing is this case thing. I guess open you up as well. Ah, fucked it up. Probably could have opened it better. Oh, it's the t-shirt actually. You know what? I'm not gonna open that up. There's no way I'm gonna be able to show you. But over here it's just the t-shirt and that's it. So this is all the stuff, guys. It's some really good stuff, quality stuff like they promised. It took forever, but we got some good stuff here. And I guess now it's time to talk about my final thoughts and just the verdict, I guess, of this whole Kickstarter experience that I had. Okay, now that we looked at all of the backer collectible stuff, I want to talk to you guys about my overall experience and give a little verdict, I suppose. Was it all worth it? And unless you're some sort of a OCD, a madman that really just wants to have all of the exclusive stuff to a specific game, I would say for the most part, you're probably better off not backing for high collectible stuff like this for almost any game, but I guess it depends. So the Kickstarter, it all happened in 2015, and for me, because we starved for a Castlevania-like 2D game experience like that, Igavania style game for so long, it was a no-brainer that I had to back this game. I have to help make it happen. And maybe if you're in a similar situation with a franchise that sort of has been, you're starving for that franchise, for that game to come back, then maybe you'll have little choice. You'll have to do something like this yourself. But ultimately, even though the end product was very solid in the end, even though all of the collectible things that I got are really high quality, really impressive, and I really like them, all of the hassle and all of the trouble that I had to go through and all the stress kind of makes it not really worth it. I mean, I don't regret it now that I got the stuff, but if there is a next time, if next time they do something like this, whether it's Castlevania, whether it's even like, let's say they did like a Bloodborne Kickstarter, if I backed a game like that, it would only be like in the $60 tier or in the tier that you just get the game. Because since 2015, now we have 2019, I got this on the 10th of September and reviewed the stuff today, uploading the video today. I had to go through so much stress, with all of the things that happened. They canceled the Vita port, changing things up, worrying about the game, worrying about all of the stuff, the developers, having problems. And it's all natural. It's part of the process. No matter what happens in these types of things, whether it's you're filming a movie, making a game, making a book, whatever it is you're creating, things get in the way. But when you're in a situation like this where you back in the high tiers, like all of the collector stuff that I got, it was basically $300, $320 with the shipping, and I had to pay, well, it was optional, but I paid like $50 more, for extra shipping, tracked shipping or whatever to Fangamer, so that I get my stuff, 100% in Cyprus over here. They recommended it. I gave that extra money. But all of the stress isn't worth it because you're worried about the stuff. Like I had to email them, hey, where's my stuff? It's been a while. You email for the game that didn't arrive. Then you gotta email for the message them for the slipcase and the collector's box and all this stuff. And we still haven't received the poster. There's still DLC that's sort of upcoming. And I know that they tried, and it's not an easy thing. They probably were going crazy with all the stuff they had to do, and maybe it should have been better planned. But it's the kind of thing that, like I've said, if you back for the high tiers and you get invested in this, all of that hassle, you get a little bit of the hassle too, like the stress, all of this money. I'm thinking to myself, am I going to lose the money? Like, do they know? Do they remember? Do they have the information? So I had to fight for it. A lot of stress for it, all this stuff. And like I've said, next time, if I ever back, if they make like a Bloodstained 2, they make a Kickstarter or whatever, at best, I might pay like 60 just to get the game, and that's it. And to be honest, at the end of the day, throughout this experience, it was the first time for me to do something like this, back a Kickstarter, and probably the last, to be honest. I realized that because of all the changes that could happen at any minute, you can't really you don't really have any say in the matter. There's not much you can do. Like, they did a lot of stuff that I didn't really agree upon, with the DLC that was supposed to be exclusive, backer stuff and what have you. And it's not about entitlement. It was mostly about, going back on their word and that kind of thing. And I'm just thinking to myself, all of these guys that didn't even back the game at all, they basically have access to the whole thing, and they were just waiting at the finish line. So I just figured to myself, was it really worth it? I mean, yeah, being in the credits of the game was kind of cool, but that sort of thing lost its charm really quickly. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool, but when you have 60,000 more people in the credits, I guess it's not as special. The collector stuff that I got is cool, but at the end of the day, I'm not that kind of person that needs to have all of the collectible shit. I like to get like collector's editions for games when I know that I'm really gonna love them, or I know the stuff you get is cool. But to go through all of the hassle and the stress for 4 years until we get the stuff, and we're still waiting for the Amana poster, ultimately for me, it isn't exactly worth it. If you're ever gonna back one of these games and stuff, I would recommend, if you really want to do it, to just back at base game. So at least you know that, okay, I'm only waiting for the game. I'm only waiting for one thing. And all of the other stuff that's extra is just extra hassle. At the end of the day, I could have just easily, put all of this stuff on eBay and sell it for profit, to be honest, because some of this stuff is actually exclusive and they're not going to print them out again. At least I hope. But, I mean, ultimately, I would just say you just wait at the finish line. It's kind of sad. That's the reality. But I'm trying to be objective here throughout my whole experience. I just feel like I'm not doing this again. Like, the stress isn't worth it. And at the end of the day, with IGA, of course, he tried his best. But when companies get involved, like with the 505, no matter how great they are, no matter how honest they try to be, at the end of the day, they got to make their money. They got to make some decisions that go towards money rather than just keeping their word, for the sake of it. And we're still waiting for DLC and stuff. It's just very, really crazy. At least that stuff is coming for free. But I mean, think about it. Somebody that didn't get invested in this thing through the Kickstarter, and it's just coming around. Okay, I'm getting this game. There's free DLC coming. It's just perfect for them. No worry, no stress. You pick and choose the stuff you want to get, and you don't have to worry. Like, for example, some of the collector stuff in the box, I dug them, but a lot of the stuff like the little tattoo thing, the pins, I didn't care about them. Of course, the autograph, that's a hot thing. I really like the autographs for Igarashi and Michiru Yamane. But like I've said, this was a one-off thing for me. But I just don't see myself doing it. And, my advice for people that never did something like that is, keep in mind, no matter how smooth it seems like it's going to be, like the Kickstarter you're backing or whatever it is you're doing, it's just problems can always arise. In the beginning, I thought to myself, hey, they gathered all of these millions. Look at all these tiers, tidy, planned out. It just seems like everything is going to go perfectly. And it didn't. The Wii U, that was a sacrifice for the Nintendo Switch, so that wasn't too bad for me. But the PS Vita, the cancellation of that really hurt. And at the end of the day, we learned it was just because, well, they said it's because Sony wasn't supporting the Vita anymore. But
Iga said himself that the game wouldn't run properly on Vita, so it was pointless to try and put it there. It was basically a mistake on their part. So there was that. Of course, the game launched. It had some glitches, especially on Nintendo Switch. Didn't run very well. And all of the stuff with the shipping the items and stressing and worrying, and we're still waiting for stuff like the Amana poster. I mean, it's just not worth it for me. So my overall experience, it had a lot of good, but a lot of stress too. And at the end of the day, like I've said, if you're ever gonna back a game because you're really dying to back it, I would recommend going through the tier just for the game, just like the minimum $60, $50, whatever it is, physical copy, digital copy, whatever it is you want to get, and that's about it. I mean, I'll admit, like if let's say Bloodborne, they say they need to do a Kickstarter to make that game, which I don't see. I mean, it's a Sony exclusive. It made good money, but if let's say they needed to do that, no matter what collection stuff they would, offer, I think through my experience with Bloodstained, I just do like the base game. And that's it. Or maybe just I don't know, like if there's a little extra bonus for $10, maybe something like that. But to pay $300 for all of this stuff, even though it was cool, and just worrying about all of your money sort of being taken away while you don't have anything in return for so long, I think it's just too much trouble. It's not really worth it. But those are my thoughts. So, hope you guys enjoyed this Bloodstained related video. Hope you guys subscribe to the channel for Pokemon TCG stuff primarily. This was a one-off thing. Saber4, thank you guys for watching, and we'll say